were you a big fan of Dangermouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to love Dangermouse. Still do.
Good. Well, the creator is right here, alongside the creator. Well, he created the animation for the BFG, Wind in the Willows, Dangermouse, as we say, Jamie and the Magic Torch, Count Duckula, all childhood classics, and Brian Cosgrove, one of the men behind them.
Yes, his career is to be recognised this weekend when he'll be presented with a special award at the Children's BAFTAs. Brian will be given it by his close friend, the actor David Jason, the man who put his voice to some of Brian's most famous characters,
including Dangermouse.
Look. Cool. Ah, well, we better... We are not going back. Something down there. Something very nasty. Well, as long as there's nothing nasty up here, I don't care. Ah! Chief! Penfold! Ah! Oh, thanks, Chief. Penfold, mind my... God, that was close. Oh, Chief! Oh, we could have had a day in Brighton. Penfold? I don't wish to know that. Oh, crumbs! He's gone! Oh! Get back! Autograph hunters. Come on.
Brilliant, Brian, welcome. So your work has been recognised by BAFTA and you'll receive a special award.
Yes.
How does that feel for you, having done all of this?
It's been very nice. It does. I mean, all of us in the media know how much they mean. You know, if you've spent your life doing something and then your people in the industry recognise you and give you an award, that feels good. And one of the things that always puzzles me is you hear of actors who say, "Oh no, I use it as a doorstop." I wouldn't do that. I think you value them.
Where's it going to go then? A special case?
I've got a special case, yes, yeah.
I mentioned the fact that you were one of the men behind these animations because it was Mark Hall as well. Cosgrove Hall, of course, the name of the company. But sadly, Mark died in the last couple of years.
A couple of years, yes. We must have been working together for about 45 years, I think. And yes, it was a real good partnership. We got on. Partnerships are not all that easy, you know. If you get two opposing personalities and you're arguing all the time, we were never like that. No. It was a very pleasant relationship, and we contributed to each other's films, and we understood each other.
How did it? Well. Yeah. How did it work in the sense? Would one of you be sort of the main creator, and the other one would chip in, sort of with suggestions?
It did vary. We co-produced just about everything, you know. We had long meetings before every show, but then one of us would go off and mastermind it. And we all know that when you're making films, it isn't a one-man or a two-man show. We had about 250 people towards the end. So it's very much a team effort, and our job was to marshal those talents to make sure you use the right people for the right show. Yeah. And it was very enjoyable. I read a piece by, what was his name now? Desmond Morris, the zoologist, and he said that people in the arts, they don't really work. And zoologists neither, or writers, they don't really work. It's not work. It's people who are in a job that they're not happy with. That's work with a capital W. So I've not really spent my life working. It's been fun. All the way down it's been fun, and I'm still doing it now while I'm retired.
I think we're going to, while we're talking to you, we'll have a little look at some of the animation of this fella, Count Duckula. And while we do, just tell us how something like that sort of takes shape, where the idea comes from, who writes the script, who then starts to draw the pictures. What happens?
Well, I remember introducing Duckula into a Dangermouse episode, and he was quite manic then. He was in Transylvania, of course, and he was a typical vampire, and what he wanted to do was break into show business, and he would do tap dancing and pieces of Shakespeare and all this sort of nonsense. And then we gave him his own show because people in America liked him. So we turned him into a vegetarian vampire duck, which is, you know, it's a silly business.
You'd have to, I suppose, really. I mean, I have to say, Duckula was my favourite.
Was he? Oh,
Yeah,
good. I'm
yeah.
pleased about that.
That and Wind in the
Because it
Willows.
was better animated.
Yeah, that and Wind in the Willows, which, when my children were, I must have watched 200 times. But do you have a favourite character of all the ones that you created?
Well, I obviously have a soft spot for Dangermouse and the BFG because it was a big film. It was 80, 90 minutes. So you get a bigger budget and you have the opportunity to really try things out, to make things richer, which you don't have in series work. You're sort of in and out like a production line. So those are my two specials, I think.
And Dangermouse, I mean, such a favourite of mine, and David Jason, the voice behind Dangermouse, just adding that little bit extra. And of course, he'll be the one presenting you with the award.
Yes, it will be nice. He's been a friend for a long time, and it means a lot that he's there.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Got a quick question for you from Pamela, who's written in about Penfold. Who's Penfold based on?
Well,
She's got an idea.
The way I designed Penfold, we didn't have a sidekick at all, and we were getting a bit panicky, and I was in a meeting, and I was doodling on a pad, and I drew this little character, and Mark said, "That's it, you see." So that became Penfold, and it was when we were coming back from the meeting, and he said, "You know what you've done?" I said, "No, what have I done?" He said, "You've drawn your brother." And I said, "No, I haven't." He said, "Have a look at it." And my brother was bald-headed, and he had heavy glasses on, and he didn't have a black nose, of course. He worked for the Sunday Express. He was a newspaper man. And from then on, all his stuff called him Penfold, which I think he quite liked it. I think he quite liked it.
Ah, there you go. Thank you very much.
Well done to Pamela for alerting us to that. And lovely to see you, Brian. Congratulations.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Brian will collect his special award at the British Academy Children's Awards in London on Sunday.